Hello friends, today we will discuss about a Indian writer, that is Khushwant Singh. As you know, Khushwant Singh was born in Pakistan in Hadali village, and he was famous for his short story and novels. He was always a great satirist, novelist and a short story writer. Today we will discuss his short stories only. As you know, he has written his greatest novel, A Train to Pakistan too. And if we talk about his biography, he was a lawyer as well as a poet. So before going for his work, we will discuss his epitaph. Actually, what is a epitaph? Epitaph is a gravestone on which some lines are written about the poet. So we will discuss what is written on the epitaph of Khushwant Singh. So here lines are written, here lies one who spared neither God nor man's. So these lines are written on the epitaph of Khushwant Singh. Means Khushwant Singh was the novelist who neither spare man or a god in his work. Means he always takes his work, his material, his content from the human life or a god life. So today we will discuss his a short story. Through this short story, he attacks on the Indian traditions, Indian superstitions, and much more about the writer. So let's start today's about short stories. His first short story is The Mark of the Vishnu. That is very famous. Second, The Portrait of Lady. Third, Posthumous, and The Voice of the God, Paradise, and A Bride for Sahib. So these are the short stories which are written by Khushwant Singh. But today we will discuss his most important 3 short stories, which are today I am going to tell you. So we shall start from the first short story, that is The Mark of Vishnu. We will discuss it in detail. The Mark of Vishnu is a short story on which Khushwant Singh attacks on Indian superstition. What is superstitions? Means earlier people believe in God. They don't have reached to science. Just they believe in God and they blindly follow the rules and tradition of the society. So through these novels, he terrorized the evil spread in the society. Here we have a character named Gangu. Gangu, who is a devotee of Vishnu, he always takes milk and he always takes milk to the temple and serve to a cobra. And he was a very religious person. He always keep a symbol or a mark on his head or symbol of a Trishul. As you know, some devotees of Vishnu always keep a mark on their head, symbol of Vishnu. So he follows that tradition. He daily goes to the temple and serves milk to the cobra. One day what happened actually, guys, while he was serving milk to the cobra, so cobra stung on his head, and while at the moment Gangu was died at the spot. So actually Gangu was believing that the cobra wouldn't sting him, but coincidentally while he was serving milk to the cobra was in anger. He stung on his head where the symbol of Trishul was made. So in this way superstitions was shown in this work or in this short story. He also took references from the Nag Panchami. As we know, there is a Indian festival on the snake, that is a Nag Panchami. What people do on the Nag Panchami? They believe that they serve milk to the cobra or snakes on this day, and that milk will be served to the Vishnu. So these are the references taken from the Indian tradition. So this is the work of Khushwant Singh, through which he wanted to show that we should chain out or we come out from our Indian superstitions. So through this story he wants to remove our superstitions. So this is the story about Gangu. Now we will discuss second most important short story, that is The Portrait of Lady. I think you have heard this, the portrait of lady. If you go through the +1 standard class, any HBSC or Haryana board standard exam, you will read there portrait of the lady, which is a short story written by Khushwant Singh. What is there? What is in there? Actually, in this short story, Khushwant Singh talks about his grandmother. What happened actually when Khushwant Singh was a child, he used to live with his grandmother in the village. He has a strong bond between his mother and poet. He even used to go to the temple and studied there. He always read scriptures, and he saw his grandmother always took chapati with her and fed to the street dogs. In this way, Khushwant Singh has some moral values. He has a moral values about the village, about the societies. But what happened? One day his family was shifted to the city. Now, what changes comes to Khushwant Singh's life and his mother life. So what happened? She now in the village she used to feed the dogs, but in the city she used to feed the sparrows. She spread some rices or a grain on the roof of her house, and sparrows came there and they took the food from there. So she was a religious lady. She daily read scriptures, but in village Khushwant Singh was studied in a government school, so she was helping in his work. But in city he was studied in the English medium school, so her mother did not get the hang of English schools. She did not good at English, or she did not study English. So she could not help Khushwant Singh in his work. So their bond become very weak, because in earlier time in his childhood she was helping him, but nowadays she couldn't help him anymore in his studies, in his moral educations. So what happened actually, one day when the Khushwant Singh went for higher studies in the London, and her mother left alone in the home. One day she died, and what happened? The sparrows whom she fed daily, they came after her mother became dead or she died. On that day, the sparrow came on the ceremony, but they did not take any food, and they felt so sad. So it means to say that even the birds, animals have feelings. Through this short story, Khushwant Singh want to convey a message that even birds have feelings, emotions, or such things. Through this, Khushwant Singh has portrayed her mother character and village and city life, and the moral lessons which are given by our grandfathers or mothers. So this is the short stories, and after there is a third important short story, that is posthumous. As you know what the word means, posthumous. Posthumous means after death. Means in this work Khushwant Singh imagines his own death, that he was a famous novelist or a short story writer. People, what would be the reaction of the people when he will die? So what happens? He imagines his own death. What happens when he died? The people who always accompany him, they did not accompany while he died, and the which were relations, means in this work he want to check his popularity. He was a greatest novelist and a short story writer. So what would the reaction of the people after he died? So what happened when he died? He was on a deathbed. Only few people came there. Only few people came to accompany him to the graveyard, and the relatives who always talks about himself, but they did not follow in his deathbed. So at the last in the graveyard he became alone. He left only alone. So in this way he wanted to check his popularity. So these are the important short story of Kushwant Singh's. I think guys you must go through these stories. These stories would help you a lots. Till then, take care.